So let's look in more detail at the gospel blues piece I did recently. In this video, what I'd like to do is show you the chords. We'll go through them one by one. We'll look at the rhythm and some other features like the octaves and the extended chords. Right, well, let's look at the rhythm, which is a time signature of 6/8. So we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can count 4 as well. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4. But in my mind, it just feels like a phrase of 6 that keeps repeating. So that's what I do. Anyway, so the chords themselves, let's go through them one by one. Now the piece is in C major. However, the first chord we hear is not a C, it's this one. Now this is an F chord with a G in the bass. Now this comes up a few times in the piece, so it's good to get to know this chord, and I think it adds something. It adds some suspension. It feels like the piece isn't, you know, what's going to happen. Something's happening soon. Okay, so that's G in the bass and an F chord in the right hand. If you know your jazz theory, this is a G11 chord, which is formed by having a G7, adding the 9th note, which is the A, and then the 11th note, which is the C. And if you notice, the top 3 notes are F, A, C. So technically that is a G11 jazzy type chord, but the simplest way to think of it is an F chord with a G in the bass. You will have heard this chord in many songs through the 80s and 70s, funk disco tunes that use this. Just a really interesting chord, I think, anyway. So, this is the first chord we hear. And then we hear some octaves. We'll talk about those a bit later on, so I'm just going to concentrate on the chords first. So, first chord is F over G, goes back to a C, but this is a C inversion, which means you take the normal C chord, C, E, G, and you take the C and you put it at the top. That's called an inversion. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the first bit. Second chord E7. And then an A minor chord. So again, this is an A minor inversion. So let's take a normal A minor, A, C, E. Take the A at the bottom and put it at the top. I'm now going to invert it again and take the C at the bottom, put it at the top. So that's still A minor. Okay, so all we've done is rearrange the notes and the chords. So instead of A, C, E, we went from C, E, A to E, A, C. So let's go back a bit. So this first chord, F, O, G, then C, E7, A minor, then we have D7, and back we go to the G in the left hand and the F in the right hand. Then the second time round we do a C again, E7 again, A minor again. Now this time round we're going to go to an F and then a G. Okay. And then we're going to do this chord, which is a really nice chord, which is E7 with a flattened ninth. Don't worry if that doesn't make any sense. But, so we have an E7, and if we add the ninth, but we flatten it, which means take it down one semitone, we get that sound. So I'm going to get rid of the E and just play those top notes. So let's take it back a bit. We went from an F to a G, and then we're going to do E7 flat and ninth, so A flat, B, D, F, passing note of the E, going to A minor 7. I'll do that again. This chord is used a lot in jazz and R&B. Okay. Now the one other thing I didn't actually explain was when we go from the F to the G, we get to the E by walking down so there's a little walk down there from the G. The bottom notes walk down. And then we do the E7 flattened ninth chord. Okay, I'll do it one more time from the F. Then we finish off with a D minor 7. F over G. And a C chord. Which is a kind of very classic kind of gospel feel, just moving the notes around. I'll do that again. So what's happening there is you've got these notes at the top which don't change, and in the middle you've got these notes that do change, like this. So you've got A and F, F and D, G and C. Do that again. Okay, so let's go from the F to the G and then the walk down. D minor 7, G over F, and then C. And I'm doing a bit of these grace notes. Very gospel or country, actually. Okay. Right, so I also want to show these octaves. The octaves are really common in gospel stuff. That kind of thing. So I'll show you how it works. So the first chord is our favourite F over G. So it's G, A, C, D, E. And then we jump to the normal chords. So that's a longer gospel thing, which goes like this. Do that again. So G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. So this is using a pentatonic scale, which is used in this style a lot. So one more time. And back to those chords. So in terms of the style, it has got elements of gospel a la Aretha Franklin. It's got the right hand is similar to some 50s doo-wop, that kind of thing. The going from C to E7 sounds like Georgia by Ray Charles. So there's lots of things going on there. It is slightly bluesy, slightly gospely. Any thoughts you have, put them in the comments, and hope to see you soon. And one thing I forgot to mention is if you want to see the sheet music, you can download that from my website. I'll put a link in the comments as well.